We're going on a run today, everybody. Good morning, happy Saturday. Playing? Wait, I wanted to ask you. Do you actually think they went to space?
The girls?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People said they didn't because the door opened from the inside. The world needs to know my thoughts on space. All right, so anyway, here's the plan for today. It is about 10:15. We have no rush today. I just started the Nike Run Club 10K training program, which definitely kind of like starts me back a little bit from where I ended in terms of like mileage with the 5K training program, but I'm totally okay with that. I think like a slight deload is good before I ramp up to the race in June. And so our long run today is the first of the program, and it's just 2.5 miles. I was originally gonna go to Central Park, but I got Kevin to come with me because he needs to go get jeans. So we're actually going to go over to the west side by the top of the High Line where like Hudson Yards is. And I'm going to drop him off. I'm going to run my 2 miles. It shouldn't take me more than 30 minutes. Something's gone horribly wrong if it takes me more than 30 minutes. And then we're going to grab something to eat and just kind of hang out for a little bit. So that's the plan for the day. We're going to take you along. A few of the things that I want to talk about specifically in this video: fueling and warm-ups. So what we're going to do is start to get dressed. I need to eat something. I'm going to take you through just a few basic things to get my body warm, and then we'll make our way in. All right, we got some apples and peanut butter. This is definitely not my ideal option. I'm a little bit more of like a banana on peanut butter toast fan pre-run, but this is all I have in the house. Now, obviously this is a very short run. Short is relative, distance is relative. This is a shorter run for me. It's just 2.5 miles. So I don't think you need to think super strategically about fueling. Just make sure like you have some carbs in your body. Carbs are gonna be your body's main and preferred source of energy. And I definitely did notice during the 5K training program, the days where I did not have some quick carbs beforehand, especially on longer runs, my performance definitely suffered, and I just felt myself kind of, honestly, like losing energy before I was done. When I get a little bit deeper into like longer distances, I do think I have to run 8 miles at some point during this training block. We kind of like overreach a little bit from the actual race distance. Stay tuned. I need to do a little bit more research and playing, and maybe like talk to some friends who are longer distance runners than what I've done and see what they think as well from personal experience. So there will be more videos talking about that coming up. But yeah, good rule of thumb, like you want some carbs, ideally something that's gonna be broken down fairly quickly. Apples definitely have a little bit more fiber in them, so this is gonna be a little bit slower to break down, but that's okay because I don't know what time we're leaving. That's also why I have the fat source in here, because that's gonna take a little bit longer to break down. So by the time we actually get to my run, probably in like an hour, I'm still gonna be fueled. So I'm gonna finish eating this and stop subjecting you to watching me eat this. And then I wanna show you just a few quick things in terms of like warm up before your run that you can check off the list quickly. All right, let's talk about the warm-up. So you want to think about ramping things up in terms of intensity and specificity. So the first thing I'm going to start with is something for the hips, which is usually some sort of hip CAR. CAR stands for controlled articular rotations, and it's just a fancy way of saying really specific joint circles. Now, since running happens in the sagittal or front to back plane, we want to make sure we're prepping the entire joint capsule to avoid overuse and injury. So this goes for any type of repetitive flexion and extension exercises. Another great example would be cycling or biking. Then I'm coming up into some half kneeling rotations. This is going to accomplish a few different things. So it's warming up my mid-back or my thoracic spine for the trunk rotation that occurs while running. It's getting my glutes fired, and it's waking up my overall core and just like full body stability. So the goal here is to make sure that nothing is really moving except for the spine. Now, before I switch sides, I'm going to immediately go into some split squats since we're already in this half kneeling position. And this is going to start to get the glutes and hamstrings, quads, calves, inner and outer thighs, just kind of the whole leg fired up. Now I'm usually gonna take some sort of isometric or a hold, and you can see I'm playing with a heel lift here. So this is to mobilize my toes, since we're gonna work through a lot of big toe extension every time we push off in our strides. I don't always do the exact same movements for my warm up, but like I said, you can see there's like kind of a build or a ramp up in intensity to them. Then before we stand up, I'm just gonna go through something that like feels right for the day, and today it was this loaded beast flow. So first you're gonna start in a plank, then you're gonna bend the knees to send the butt back toward the heels to sit back into what we call a loaded beast. This position is great for a lot of things, but especially lengthening out through the posterior hip capsule and the pelvic floor. Then you're gonna pike the hips up into a down dog, which just feels great on the hamstrings and calves. Then finally, we're gonna articulate through the spine to roll into like a little cobra situation and get a nice stretch through the front of the body. Now, the last thing I did at home were some single leg calf raises. This again is gonna prep the feet for all of that big toe extension coming, but it's also gonna get the calves fired up. I never really paid attention to my calves until I started training with the current coach that I'm working with, and I have noticed far less fatigue and injury to them. By far less, I mean zero. I remember previous running attempts, I would be so sore in my calves, or even like, I remember one time I pulled a calf muscle while dancing. So anyway, the moral of the story is do not ignore your calves. All right, finally, where we're actually gonna run. So once we got to the starting location, I just did some pogos to introduce a bit more impact and get that stretch shortening cycle ready to go, baby. But yeah, anyway, in layman's terms, you're just propelling off your feet with every stride and running. So you wanna include some sort of that in your warm up. In a perfect world, I also would have done some sort of skip to finish it out, like an A or an L skip, but I honestly just wanted to go. And so here we go.
This is like the perfect weather to run. Feeling good, just started. Feeling good. Just hit a mile. A little slow pace today, 10:55. But I'm really enjoying it. Like I don't feel like I'm dying. I think I'm just gonna keep it a little slower until I get to like last half mile. And then push it. Ooh, this is pretty, hold on. Shaky cam, World Trade, and the Whitney. I tried. We're in turbo mode now, meaning by like a 10-minute pace. Feeling tired. If I ever run in the heat like this, it's like 80 degrees. All right, almost there. Done. Did it. 2.5 miles. I don't even remember what my final time was. Whew, pop it on the screen. Whew. That felt good. I think overall, I wish I had a piece of toast with my breakfast. I think like it was just a little too much time between the run and the meal. Again, it's 2.5 miles, like you don't need like crazy carb loading, but I know my body, I could have used like one more thing with my breakfast, so good to know for the future. But I'm proud of my negative splits. So that's essentially when you get a little faster each mile. And that's a good thing to do because you don't want to go too fast too soon. I've made that mistake because then you can really push it at the end. So yeah. So I'm gonna go find Kevin and we're gonna see if we can get some espresso martinis. And I need something to eat. Let's do it.
Give me love. Give me love. I know you've been hurt before. Got a couple scars, put a pulse around your heart, but I know you'll be saving me. Need a little something sweet, I got the recipe. Yeah, cherry, I can put it on top. Legendary, I'm the one they all want. I'm the one, but now I want to.